is register. So once you've registered and you've sent out that VIP special link to register someone, because remember, the website doesn't advertise. We're not going to let you register from our website. We don't want to compete against our members. So they have to be invited onto this platform by a special invitation, which is your VIP link registration in the back. Once the person has registered, then they don't need to do anything else. They can look around, see everything in the back office, see how everything's working, but they're not going to be able to participate in anything until they pay. And that means buying a membership. So once they've purchased a membership, then they go through what's called verification process. That's the third and final process. Once you have actually bought a membership, you can then share your link. You can make money. You can make trading. Remember, the trading starts today at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time all the way to 3:59 tomorrow Pacific Standard Time, which is Monday. So this is Sunday night at 4 p.m. We work on UTC time. So on UTC time, it's zeroed out right now. Or it would be at 4 o'clock or after 4. Okay? So think about it. You can go on and set your trade risk every Sunday night to Monday afternoon. Okay? You have 24 hours to set your trade risk. Then you can still, once you've registered, now you've registered, and all you've done is buy a membership. Okay? Keep in mind, you haven't done any documentation. You haven't verified any of your documentation. You haven't even put your real address in where it says to put your address and phone number in, which means you haven't completed your profile. You need to complete the profile next. What this does is it allows you to start participating in the trading and commissions and sharing your link to get those. So number 3 is verification. Very important that you do get verified, because until you're verified, you can't withdraw money. We're not going to just send your money to anybody. Mm-hmm. It's very important that people understand that verification process is not done by a computer system. Okay, the system recognizes it, but we actually do it. A human actually looks at everybody's picture and documentation. That takes time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. Give it 24 to 48 hours to verify. It will happen, but it has to be correct too. So listen up. If you didn't put your correct address that matches your driver's license, you won't be verified. Think before you do. Don't get so excited and enthralled into our beautiful system that you get so excited and you make a mistake. Because it's very hard to correct a mistake once it's been made in our system. Because it's an encrypted type system and platform. So it's not just anybody can go in and change your email or change your address. It's not easy stuff to do. We will have it in there in the system, but we're in pre-launch. And in pre-launch, we've got a little things to tweak and adjust and do just right. You'll see even some of the languages is changing if you've been in the system in the very beginning, even some of the languages changed.
Mm-hmm. Can I say one thing too? Remind the people when they put their email, what the system does is takes their first letter of their name and the other name and put it together, and sometimes it might not go to where it is.
Okay, so when you're registering,
give them an example of that.
Let me give you an example.
Because they can't change it.
I'm going to give you a nice example.
Oh boy.
I'm going to give you an example. I'll give you another one that's off the record. But here's an example of registration. It's going to take your first initial of your first name and put your last name with it. Unless you change it. It does it automatically. So some people think they've changed it, and they didn't change it, and they swear that that's their username. But when they go back to their email, and I tell them, look at the bottom of your email on your verification, there's your username. And they go, oh, well, that's not the one I thought I put in. So that's why some people aren't even able to log onto the system, because they don't even know their real username. Mm-hmm. So it's very important. Thank you, Judy. It's very important that when you register and you verify your email, you look at the bottom and make sure that username is the username you're going to continue to use. Because that's it. So when you register, if you want your username to be different than your first initial and your last name, and some people, trust me, they do.
Yes. So
use a different username. Now, guys, for me, I brand me. TradeCoin Club, we are branded, and we'll continue to be branded. Our brand's going to carry on decades and years and years and years. We forecasted. Brand yourself. People follow you. They don't follow TCC. They don't follow other companies. They follow you. So brand yourself. That's a great advice I can give. If you're going to have a business card made, put your picture on it. People don't forget your face. They forget your name. Okay? So great advice from somebody that knows a little bit, not much. Okay? So that's your registration. When you register, it'll ask you for a username. The system automatically creates a username for you. If you want it to be different, make sure you change it when you're registering. Because once it's there, it's there.
You can't.
The email that you use, make sure it's a qualified, good email address. If it's an off-brand type email server, you might not ever even get the email. We send them all out, but some of the servers don't get them all out. It's not our fault. It's just the types of servers that are out there. I don't know why it's doing that at the moment, but some of the off-brand Infinity or Cox or some of the globals, this and that emails that you're using, go get a real bona fide email and try that. But if your email, you want to use that one, and that's the one you got to use, and you put it in, and it doesn't register you, then go get one of the emails that I just talked about. Because you can register as many times as you like with a different email, but you can only buy one account. Got that? So you can only get one account. You can only buy one membership. Let's talk on the same terminology. Memberships, activation, and what did I say? Verification. So the third step is verification and verifying your ID. So make sure you put your ID right next to your face like this and take your whole face and your ID. Please don't take it in the mirror. Okay? Don't take your selfie in the mirror because it turns the ID backwards. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I've had it happen.
Oh my God.
People do that.
People. Yeah,
I love you guys.
No mirror picture.
People are just amazing, but you can come up with some really crazy stuff. So take your picture, do your selfie, have a friend take it. Find a friend on the street, take my picture for TCC. They're going to ask you, what the heck is TCC? Boom! Now you can share your link because you've already verified, you've already bought your account, so you're active. So share your link with them while they take your picture. Okay. So after you've verified your account, now you're allowed to take out money. If you do not have a wallet, at this point in time, you're going to need a wallet. So if you're in a different country, find out who is the main one that people are using. There's different wallets out there because I go to different countries. So I use different wallets. I spread my Bitcoin around, as you might say. I don't put all my eggs in one basket, and I don't suggest anybody does either. So put a little Bitcoin over here, put a little Bitcoin over there, put it on a stick, whatever you're going to do. Put it in a safe, as I call it. I got a little safe, puts my thumb on it. It's really cool. And guess what, guys? When I insert it, it's there. When I take it out, no one knows it's where it is, except for me. Beautiful thing to have. So, you've done all three steps. Now, what will happen is if you go to your back office, and if you don't know this, it's office.tradecoinclub.com. That's how to log in. It's not on our website to log in because we're a membership referral-based business. We're not going to compete with you guys. So remember, they have to have your VIP link. But for you, it's very simple. Office.tradecoinclub.com. If you haven't saved it in your browser, it'll be in your browser history. So also, if you've put in the wrong emails or the wrong addresses, that'll be in your browser history. And sometimes you'll make a mistake, and your browser will pull that back up and continue to use that even though you've changed your username or password. Your browser keeps that information sometimes, so you want to clear your browser history. With me so far? Okay. So, we've registered. Now we have bought a membership. So we are what did I say? Come on, help me out. If you buy a membership and you register, then you have to activate. Mm-hmm. So now we've activated. Now we've verified. Mm-hmm. Very good. So you guys are with me. So we've verified. Now what do? Well, now we sit back and we set our trade every Monday. And you have to set your trade Monday. Logistically, we can't set your trades for you. We tried it. We thought we could get away with it. The legal aspects are no, we cannot set your trade for you. You have to set your trade risk every week. It was every day. Now it's once a week. So I'm asking everybody to go to work every Monday for 5 minutes.
So it's not defaulted.
No.
Okay.
It will, if it doesn't recognize your risk has been reset on Monday, your wheel will stop turning.
At what time? At 4 p.m.?
At 3:59 p.m. Monday Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
If you have to remember, that's Pacific Standard Time. It goes from midnight to midnight, but if you're on UTC time. Okay? So closely, every Monday you have to go to work for a couple of minutes and set your trade risk. Okay? I know it's hard work,
That's
but do
hard.
it.
It's really hard.
If you don't do it and you forget, we're allowing everyone right now that forgets an extra week. So we'll add that week onto the back of your contract so you don't miss a week.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not going to penalize you for not remembering. That's for now. Okay, so for right now, we're letting everyone add that week onto the end of their agreement. So your agreement's for 12 months if you're a senior trader. Of course, if you're a trader, it's for 12 months. And if you're an apprentice, it's for 8 months. Now, this is something that everyone needs to know and listen very closely. If you come in as an apprentice at 0.25 Bitcoin, plus the 0.05 Bitcoin to join, because we have to turn on the robo, and that's the fee to turn it on, is 0.05. Always include the 0 when you're making hashes.
Yep.
Or include the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, to whatever digit. But you always have to include that first digit. Don't just put a point and then the decibels, because it won't recognize that and it's going to screw you up.
Yep.
So you're going to create a hash that's way bigger than what you thought you were doing. Trust me. So put the 0.30 to apprentice. Now, the system's going to recognize that you're at 0.25. The dashboard is going to show half that amount. And it's going to show your full trade. We're trading off the full amount. So your trade every day goes onto the full amount on the platform. But it shows 50%. Why is that? The reason that is because you need to understand that if you take your contract and say, I'm out of here, and you want to take your Bitcoin and leave, we are going to hold in reserve 50%. Why? Protects you guys. Don't you want to protect the business that you're in? So think about this on our side, but also on your side, because now we're partners in business. So you want your business to be protected. If everyone could take their money out and run and owe us money, we'd go out of business. And you guys wouldn't have this beautiful platform to play with. So it's very important that you understand that we have to take 50% and hold it in reserve. That 50% goes to pay the people that work for us. It goes to pay your bills, that if you left any bills behind. If you don't, and a year later, or your 12 months, 260 trading days is up, then you'll automatically renew if you haven't already made 5 times the amount. Because if you've made 5 times the amount you came in, you renew anyway. And you get paid bonus money all over again. So every time you hit 5 times the amount you came in with, you renew. And you get paid all over again. And everybody down below you get paid all over again. So if you have 1,000 team, that's called a team bonus. If you have 1,000 people on your team and they all renew at the same time, you get paid 1,000 commissions. Beautiful. Beautiful.
It's actually pretty incredible, the comp plan.
It is. It's strong.
It's really, really strong.
So,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So
I'm excited.
realize that and the point I was trying to make is that you need to realize the system goes forward. It doesn't go backwards. Now, what do I mean by that? The system recognizes that if you're at an apprentice level and you've come in at 0.25 and you've made money, now you have to make at least 0.25 to even be charged any money, period. We won't charge anything but the 0.05 if you don't make at least 0.25 on the whole entire system. So, but once you've made over 0.25, then you pay the fees. And there are a couple of fees. We have to pay the people to work there. Okay. So, what I mean by the system not going backwards is very important. The system will automatically upgrade you if you're compounding or putting your trade or your commissions back into the exchange. Never touch the exchange. That's the big 0. No. Never touch your exchange. As soon as you pull out of the exchange, you have 48 hours to put the money back into the exchange, or your membership is null, void, canceled, and you're out of the matrix and out of the system completely. Okay, so you're done. And wiped that way. You have to come back in and you lose your position, and you have to come back in all over again, and you lose 50%. So don't touch your exchange. Pull from your commissions and your trade. If you're compounding, the system will recognize as soon as you hit 1 Bitcoin and will upgrade you. See what I mean by going forward?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the system, as soon as you get to 5 Bitcoin, will recognize now you're a senior trader and will upgrade you to senior trader. Now, if you say, well, Joff, I came in with 1 coin. Now I'm at 5 coins, a senior trader. Can I go and get my 4 coins back out? No, because the system doesn't go backwards. It only goes forward. So it's not going to downgrade your membership. It's going to keep you a senior trader, and it's going to recognize and think that you're pulling your money, your Bitcoin out, and it's going to take you it's going to give you the warning of 48 hours to put it back in, or you lose it. Just 50%. You can take the other half and go bye-bye. Okay? All funny. It's all great to know, because you want to know full disclosure, and I love transparency. So this is why I'm explaining all this. Also, the system, you need to realize that if you're funding other people's accounts, we encourage it. We encourage you to build your team and fund people's accounts. But if you're doing that, there's a limit to it. And it's in Bitcoin and amount of people. So don't do that, because what's happening is the system is recognizing that you're not paying the 8%, and it's going to say that's enough. You've funded enough accounts, you've pulled enough money out by funding people's account. Now, what do I mean by that? What that means is if I come in and I bring you in, and you don't have the Bitcoin, you have cash. And I say, well, I'm in my commissions. I've got 1 Bitcoin in commissions. You give me the cash, and I'll fund your account. It happens immediately.
Because they just generate the hash on their side,
Right.
and you just pay
Copy
into
and
that
paste the
hash.
to yours, and
Okay.
you pay hash
Yeah.
on your side. You fund their account. It happens within 15 minutes. You'll see their account active. There's no waiting. So that's a great benefit to understand and know to use to build your team quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But you also really realize that you can only do so many until it stops. Okay? So be careful with it. Don't do 30. Don't do more than I think it's 16. Don't hold me to that, but I think it's around 16 for the month. So, anyways, so what happens is if you pull money out now and you want to put money in your wallet, there's an 8% fee to do that. Why do we charge 8%? Because we get charged. We're passing that on. We get charged to do the funding to do the transaction. It's a transaction fee. So the 8% is not where we make a bunch of money. It's actually what it's called a transaction fee. Okay? Now, every quarter, every 4 months, some people think a quarter's 3, but it's every 4 months with us. Okay? So every 4 months, the system will charge you 25% for brokerage. It's like a brokerage fee.
I'm sorry, how many percent?
25%. Yep. Now, a lot of companies, if you go to, I'm not going to mention names, but if you go to brokerage companies and you've ever used a brokerage, you'll see that 25% is a very fair price to do what we're doing. It's very fair because most of them charge up to 60% and give you 40. Now, if I tell you I'm going to make you 10 grand and I'm going to take 6 of it and give you 4, that's still, some people think that's a pretty good deal. Some people think that's a good deal. But if I tell you we're going to make you 10 grand and our system will make you 10 grand, if it does, and you only give me 2,500, I'm going to give you 7,500. It's a no-brainer.
All day.
All day long. I'll do that every day. Anybody watching this video or any guys in this room want to do that with me, I'll do that with you all day long.
All day long.
10 times a day to 100 times a day.
Yeah.
So think about that. So yes, you get 25% fee. Now where does that come from? It comes out of your back office. It'll come from your trader commission, or it'll come out of your exchange. If it comes out of your exchange, you have 48 hours to put it back in. If you don't put it back in, your contract's done.
So the system is going to look for it in your boxes.
Yep.
And if it's not in your commission or your trade, it will go
Pull
to
it
your
from the
exchange.
Remember the 50% we hold?
Yeah.
Now you know why.
Okay.
Okay? Because we're not going to go out of business.
Yeah.
That secures your business too.
Mm-hmm.
Just as much as it secures us to stay in business.
Right.
Okay. So that's connecting the dots, and that's what we're doing here today is connecting dots. So I think you guys understand now that the 3 steps to activation and verification, you understand what those take and how to get around the 8% if you want to. You also understand how to take money. You're going to need a wallet, so make sure you get with a local one. I'm not going to mention names because I'm not promoting anyone, certain wallet, but just make sure you find a wallet that most people are using that's common, that maybe right now can be linked to a Paylocians or a Shift card or one of the types of credit cards, so you can actually go out and spend your Bitcoin. Okay? Got it. So The other thing is keep in mind that Bitcoin is something that has value, just like gold.